Now, 10 of those labels got back to me.
Yep.
One of them didn't, and the other one said, respectfully, we'd like to not get involved.
Now listen. We're gonna try to guess who that was. Okay, we're gonna see who we got, and then I might try to guess who didn't get back. Okay, dude.
Do you know where your children are?
But yeah, no, we're gonna check out TankTheTech's video. I think this is a good one to check out because what's interesting, instead of because some people are gonna have their thoughts on everything that's kind of going on in the reaction world and whatnot. Well, what's cool about this is that Tank did some journalism here. He reached out to labels, publishers, and bands to get them to tell him what they think of reaction videos. It's like 20 minutes, fair warning. Well, that's okay, Tank, because that will mean that I will probably turn this into an hour-long video, which is great content. But I'm very curious to see this because, for one, I'm going to go into this guessing. I'm going to go into this with a couple of guesses, okay? I'm going to assume the bands love reaction videos because if a band was like, no way, dude, it's like, what? And then I'm curious what the labels are going to say because I think that I think it's good promotion, but then again, especially, people, we want some monetization, okay? We want some monetization, okay? Enough of this crap about us not getting anything. I totally agree with that to some extent, but that's why you got to cultivate some relationships and do it that way. I kind of understand that point of view to where you kind of have to show the label like, hey, listen, this channel is actually going to be a good vehicle for you to promote your bands. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. But, we've already made this into a 10-minute video. We haven't even started the video, so let's check it out.
Over the past couple months, I've been working on getting information for the content for this specific video.
Wow.
And now that I'm sitting down to actually film it, I feel like it couldn't have come at a better time because he's
got a great beard, doesn't he? I mean, mine's not as long, but I could get there.
The last 24 hours alone, reaction channels and reaction videos in general have been a huge hot topic on YouTube, man. We've gotten a video from Finn McKenty from the Punk Rock MBA talking about how he thinks 99% of reaction channels are trash content. We got a rebuttal to that from Metal Burb. And then we got a video from Nick Nocturnal talking about reactions.
Look at that.
And to be honest, this isn't a new conversation, man. Reaction channels have been a highly polarizing subject ever since I started doing them
Which is interesting. Like, I don't understand why they're polarized. Like, I know that they are, right? But I, don't get why. Like, I just don't get why. But yeah, let's continue.
a year and a half ago, and probably before that. A lot of people that don't like reactions think this is just mindless, soulless content where content creators are ripping off the works of others and just putting it out there for clicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there are other people that love reactions because they get to discover new music through other people. But when I really sat down and thought about this, I was like, what do the actual bands and record labels and their publishers think about reaction videos? All of these other people are talking about it, but what do the people who are actually putting out the source material think about all of this?
Yeah.
Well, today I'm going to tell you because I've got direct quotes and answers from bands, record labels, and publishers about what they think about the reaction scene in general.
All right, now before we get into the quotes here, I hope that we actually got some name. Hopefully they weren't like, listen, I'll comment, but I'm gonna be anonymous. I hope that we got some names here, okay?
So in today's video, this is barely gonna be any of my opinion. You've already heard enough about it. Today, I'm just going to throw up direct quotes.
And by the way, for those of you watching on YouTube, because I'm definitely putting this on YouTube, Tank, this guy right here, he's actually in the chat right now. So this is a pretty big deal. Here we go.
From those sources so we can actually see what they think about it.
Oh, Law and Order music means something's real. Something real is going to happen.
For the first part of this video, I want to talk about the record labels and what they think about reaction channels. Now, the record labels are the homes for the bands, and the important thing to remember is that record labels are not the ones that are directly enforcing copyright claims on reaction videos. That's the publisher, who we'll talk about later.
Yeah, those are the bad boys.
Most copyright claims come from the YouTube algorithm automatically, which scans videos for copywritten material. Then it's up to the publisher to enforce those claims. They can also manually claim them if they weren't automatically tagged. But the record label does have a lot of say in the matter. They can tell their publisher to back off of claims.
Yeah, so listen, my understanding of how this works is, well, the whole system of is totally chaotic. It's not a simple like, hey, can you do this? There's like 10 freaking degrees of like trying to get to the person that'll ultimately remove a copyright claim or a block. You know, it's a complicated process. And by the way, thank you God itself for the sub.
And have them removed from certain videos. On the flip side of that, they could also have them manually claim videos if they want to. Yeah. But for this video, I got a hold of 12 different record labels with a couple simple questions and let them give me some quotes if they wanted to. Now, 10 of those labels got back to me. Yep. One of them didn't, and the other one said, respectfully, we'd like to not get involved.
Now listen, we're gonna try to guess who that was, okay? We're gonna see who we got, and then I might try to guess who didn't get back, okay, dude?
Just to stay neutral to the argument, which is totally fine. But out of those 10 that got back to me, in terms of the question, do you think reaction channels help bands? All 10 of them said yes.
Nice.
And then on the second question, do you think reaction channels help the music industry in general? All 10 of them also said yes. And a few of them gave me some direct quotes to include in this video. Nice. And just for honesty and full transparency, some of the quotes that I'm going to read in this video were shortened a little bit just because we had way lengthier conversations than the stuff that they wanted me to include. But I do have copies of all of this stuff. So if anybody doubts the validity of any of this, I do have proof from these quotes. And I actually think that most of these labels would probably tell you that, yes, they said this stuff anyways. Okay. So when asked, what do you personally
Look at that, TankTheTech out here in 2022 doing good journalism. Not only does he have sources, but he got them to put their name on it. You know, you see it a lot in journalism, according to anonymous sources. No, Tank got the names of a lot of these people. That sounds good. Look at this. Tank doing real journalism out here in 2022. You love to see it.
Think about reaction videos and reaction channels. Sydney Weiss, who handles promotion, marketing, and socials for AFM Records, says it's basically a new way of promotion, which I dig personally. I like to be drawn deeper into music, lyrics, gear, or whatever by a reaction that makes me aware of something new in a song. It also depends on the quality of the respective reactor/channel. I think that there is a lot of crap going on, but if the person really has to add something unique and interesting to the song, or the interpretation of it, or explains anything memorable and interesting, maybe useful to people who sing, who learn production, who don't know much about instruments, it really helps. And due to a good working channel based on successful key audience strategies, you can see great results as a label. I personally really like them and spend nights watching people listen to metal songs I like and sometimes stumble over songs I never heard before. That is great fun. It's either now or sooner or later becoming really essential help for labels to promote and release singles. Randy.
Now that right there, that's a cool, that's a good quote right there. I agree with everything the guy said. I mean, there's really nothing from that quote that I can disagree with. It's cool that he said that he actually watches them and he discovers new stuff. That's really cool. I have nothing to say on that one. I totally agree.
B. Ray, the owner of Seek and Strike Records,
All right,
says,
Seek and Strike.
the landscape is constantly changing in this industry, but the passion behind the music/art has not gone anywhere. The metal community is very tight, and I think reaction videos open that door to widen the community and, most importantly, connect people.
True.
We've heard about a lot of great upcoming bands from the community hyping it up online. Before, it was magazines, then MySpace Metal, Pure Volume, other metal music sites, etc., etc., etc. Right now, it's all about utilizing socials, including YouTube, to help generate as much exposure for your bands.
That's a really good point. So, reaction channels are like finding a new band on MySpace. That's a really good way to think of it. I think that's a really good way to look at it.
What struggling industry types need to realize is that you need to go to where the fans are, not where they used to be or even where you want them to be.
Now that right there, that's going to be a tough quote to top throughout this video. That right there, that is a guy who knows what he's talking about. I think that is a great quote. You know, I know that it's I know this is a part of his bigger quote here, but that right there, what struggling industry types need to realize is that you need to go where the fans are, not where they used to be or even where you want them to be. True and real. I mean, the people like reaction videos, so why? It's like when TikTok first came around. People were like, why I ain't going on TikTok, man. I ain't dancing. It's like, well, that's where people are. So, you know, you kind of have to, you know, swallow your pride a little bit and get on to these platforms, or just at least, you know, try to understand them enough to where you can appreciate the benefit that they have to your product. It's like imagine like owning a bakery, right? And they have like these conventions, and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to the conventions. Those are silly. Well, if they help your business out, why wouldn't you? I know it's kind of a loose analogy, but you get what I'm saying. Like if there's avenues or things out there to help your business grow, embrace it. And then Tank in the chat here says, Randy is a great business mind. He's worked at Sumerian Victory and Century Media, and then got tired of working for other people and started Seek and Strike. That's awesome. I love to see that.
Reactions are a fun way to share and enjoy music with people that are also passionate about the same music we are. It's also a great way to learn about upcoming new bands. Now, this next one's kind of a long one, but considering the source and the content and the subject matter, we're just going to include all of it.
Okay.
Dennis Mall, who is an A&R rep at Century Media Records, says,
okay,
to me, reaction videos are the modern form of music journalism, especially in metal, where the fans have a very strong relationship to their genre and are actively spending time discovering new bands and want to dive into music deeper than a standard mainstream pop fan, for example. Back in the days, a journalist would write a review in a magazine. Nowadays, it's reactors that review and analyze new music on YouTube. It's also very interesting to see how the reactors specialize themselves into certain directions and focus on talking about different things in those videos.
Yeah.
This adds a massive value to the music and explains a lot of details and insider information to the audience they've probably never ever known. Also, from a marketing perspective, it's that reaction videos have more or less replaced print magazines.
True. I hate to cut Tank off here, but that's true. I don't know how many people still, not one, read these music sites, but two, buy the magazines. Like, I mean, really? Like, I mean, how many of these magazines sell? I mean, not a lot. I mean, let's just be, I don't know the exact numbers, but if I was willing to bet, I would bet it's not a lot. And so a lot of time people just want to watch stuff. You know, it's a visual world now. People want to watch the videos. They want to watch a review. That's why I never understood why these sites, like a Metal Injection, why they never got into a reaction or a review thing. I never understood why they never got into that space. I mean, hey, would it undercut, I guess, the site? I guess, but you could also do the print thing in addition to it, because I wouldn't think that doing that is going to undercut that business, but I don't know. And then Tank says, I was still buying magazines at airports when I was on tour, but haven't done that in a while. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the the market at this point is, kind of, needing it for idle time, at an airport waiting for a flight. But yeah, and then we got K Tanis here in the chat who says he doesn't read. So, that's a problem. If people can't read, they're not going to read the magazine. It is what it is.
Especially in rock and metal, where we do not have the attention of mainstream media outlets, reaction videos are one of the most important factors to drive the scene to new music and new bands. The great success of some songs we've released recently were based on reaction videos.
Yeah.
I remember when we released Eskimo Callboy's Hypa Hypa. It seemed like for weeks, nothing else had been uploaded on YouTube other than Hypa Hypa reaction videos. And all of a sudden, the numbers exploded everywhere. I don't think that there is any reaction channel in any genre that has not reviewed Hypa Hypa.
Yeah.
Another example I would like to mention here is To the Hellfire by Lorna Shore. The YouTube reaction scene is the most important factor that this song blew up like it did, and it's these guys who have helped in bringing this band on another level. It's also very interesting to see YouTube reactions merging into TikTok.
Yeah.
Nick Nocturnal's reaction on Lorna Shore's breakdown has almost 5 million views and generated a new trend on TikTok, and we've established the hashtag Lorna Shore Challenge.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying about TikTok. And that's the really cool, that's what I've started to do. And I know that a lot of other people that do reactions have done this. They've just take their reaction videos, get the cool clip, put it on TikTok. It takes literally no time at all. It's further exposure for the bands. And then like the views, like right there, Nick's reaction to the breakdown, 5 million views. That is insane, man. Like that's crazy. And yeah, like the Hypa Hypa into the Hellfire reaction channels definitely helped out both of those songs for sure.
All in all, we are very happy to see the development of the YouTube reaction scene, and we really appreciate the hard work and the research YouTube reactors put into their videos, and we really enjoy working together with them closely. Our next one is coming from somebody that wished to remain anonymous, and for me to state that this is their personal view and doesn't necessarily reflect the label that they work for, but they were happy to allow me to say that they are from Sumerian Records.
Oh boy.
And they said,
see, look at that, dude. They said, listen, I'm going to be anonymous. This is my opinion. It doesn't necessarily reflect that of the company. Hey, we kind of got a half-see there. But listen, I respect Sumerian. I respect Sumerian. Lots of great bands have come out of there, but let's see what the anonymous source has to say.
I personally think reaction videos are fun, entertaining, and very beneficial to an artist's outreach when done correctly. Like any category, though, it is getting a little oversaturated. So I just think aspiring reactors need to find their own niche and run with it to be unique and stand out. Don't need to have insane production or even a ton of music knowledge to do this.
True.
Just make sure
I'm
your
living proof of
opinion is
that.
well-rounded, do your research, and be yourself. Your audience can always tell the difference between real passion and faking it to hop on the trend. And finally, Vince Edwards, the director.
I think that's interesting that the labels are also commenting on it being oversaturated because, in a way, I mean, true, right? But also at the same time, not obviously the quote there wasn't, insinuating that they thought that was a bad thing necessarily, like for their product. But hey, man, if I can get 100 reaction videos, then let's do it. Hey.
Director of content and radio promotions at Metal Blade Records says streamers/reaction channels
Metal
are
Blade.
functionally
Wow, okay.
our new TV.
All right,
They're
Tank.
talk shows. Anyone that diminishes the amount of work a streamer has to do is a clueless knucklehead.
Well,
Reaction videos help. Why? Streamers/YouTubers are friggin' tastemakers. Someone fans know to trust with tastes and preferences. Reaction isn't even that great of a word. Functionally, it's more of an analysis, and each reaction will have its own flavor. Is that streamer a musician, a vocalist, an enthusiast of some import? Streamers are TV hosts that don't have to bend to the will of corporate oversight for programming.
yeah.
Anyone that's worked in TV will tell you the final call is largely out of the hands of the creatives.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I love Key of Jeebs, the charismatic voice, Cardavox Academy,
And Richard Janvrin.
all great channels with unique takes on music. The level of analysis from enthusiasts/experts in an audio-visual format is hard to beat for music fans. It's interesting to me to know why someone like Devin Townsend is incredible, or hear from a composer on what they think the band must have been trying to accomplish with a specific arrangement. For me as a drummer, that's more interesting and engaging than the written word in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think Vince here pointed out a lot of great things. He obviously appreciates them and the streams as well, because I know that Metal Blade has had a lot of artists involved with some streams in the past on Twitch that have been on the front page. I know they've been with like Dan Fonts, who's Continental Booking, and I believe with Nick Nocturnal as well. So I know that Metal Blade kind of understands it, which is really, really cool. Because getting these trends. Metal is, listen, we all love it, right? Like, it's great music, but collectively, it is kind of a little bit behind the times on some of like the trends that are popular, especially with a younger demographic. Because, right now, I think like the typical metal demographic, like I don't know if there's any people that are under the age of 18 really that listen to like metalcore. Like, how many 16, 15-year-olds are listening to metalcore? I don't know, but if they were introduced more to like especially like TikTok through like a reaction video or something like that, hey, maybe that's what gets them into it.
So while that was a pretty small pool of quotes and responses from record labels, as you can see, they approve of this stuff, man. And I think we're starting to see kind of a change in that lately. When I first started doing reactions a year and a half ago, I had no contact with any of these labels at all. All my videos were getting copyrights. I didn't get approval from anybody on anything. Now, within the last 6 months, all of these labels are happy to see reactions going up. And I think that's just going to keep continuing in the future. Now, moving on to the bands portion of this video. To be honest, I think we all already know what this is going to be. We already know that bands love reaction videos.
Of course.
We see them reposting them and sharing them and commenting on people's channels. But to keep it fair, I reached out to 20 different bands and I ended up hearing back from 16 of them.
Wow.
4 of them I didn't hear back from or said they were going to get back to me and didn't. But hey, I understand.
Hey, what do you mean? A musician said they were going to get back to and they never did? Never heard about that before.
People are busy. They got a career to run, man. So when asked,
Tank's a nice guy, but I'll be the bad boy here. Okay, Tank's a nice guy. I'll be the bad boy.
Do you think reaction channels and reaction videos help bands? All 16 of these bands, surprise, surprise, all said yes. And when asking them, do you think reaction channels and reaction videos help the music industry in general? Again, all 16 of them said yes.
Wow.
But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some of these bands. When asked, what do you personally think about reaction videos? Hans Plotz, the guitarist for Feuerschwanz and the Dark Side of the Moon, says, I love reaction videos. They're fun to watch, especially those with more background infos like yours or the charismatic voice, and they help a lot to reach a new audience. For Feuerschwanz, I
love how Tank just nails the pronunciation of that word. He's like, yeah, that was on my 2nd grade spelling test. Of course I know how to pronounce that word.
Good way to reach listeners outside of German-speaking countries. For Dark Side of the Moon, it's great to get the band known, which is important for a new band. Vicky Sarakis from The Agonist says,
ooh, okay.
I absolutely love watching good reaction videos simply because of the genuine human emotion that goes into them. Research and analysis are always an added bonus, but I can't help but get all sentimental when I see someone respond positively to my music. Nanowar of Steel says, and I wouldn't expect anything less from these guys.
Oh boy.
We like reaction videos, especially some bands whose names start with N and ends with Nanowar of Steel. Also, reaction videos on YouTube are great. We think they are so amazing that we left our job as musicians and turned into full-time reactors ourselves.
Okay.
When asked about his thoughts on reactions, Grant Truesdell, the guitarist of Unleash the Archers, says,
okay,
reaction channels have been blowing up on YouTube and exposing so many new fans to bands. I've experienced this firsthand. I have many people coming up to me saying they found out about our band because of a reaction channel. I think reaction channels have developed themselves into free marketing for bands and labels alike. What could be bad about spreading the good word of music to the people? As a musician, you want to get out to the public as many ways as you can, and reaction channels are only helping spread the word. I love them as a fan and as a musician. I watch reaction videos on my own band as well as others. It helps give me insight to how our music makes people feel, what's working and what's not. It exposes me to music I may never have found without reaction channels.
That's cool.
And there are some incredible reaction channels out there that provide insight about the music that even I, as a professional musician, didn't even pick up. UK-based rock band Casket says,
Hey,
we definitely think that
I love these guys. These guys are super nice. When I was doing the reaction videos on the True Shot channel, they would reach out to us to react to their stuff. And yeah, these are really nice guys.
Videos help bands, especially smaller bands, as if a reactor has a dedicated following or is known for reviewing a certain style of music.
Yeah.
You could be watching them as you enjoy how they react and their content and stumble upon a band or song that you otherwise wouldn't have found.
Yeah.
It's also great content to post about and helps give your band more credibility and find new fans. Bands are always going to appreciate people taking the time to review their music, and it's a new way of promoting yourself to help get your band bigger, and that can only benefit the music industry moving forward. Overall, we as a band and as individuals love reaction videos. It's a highlight for us when releasing music that there will be a wave of new and familiar faces reacting to our music. We like that they are all different, and we appreciate the effort and enthusiasm that gets put into them. All the way from Finland, Blind Channel says, we think YouTube reaction videos are a very modern and fresh way to promo the band/music and the YouTube creator's channel itself. It's basically a win-win situation for everybody. Many bands, like us, have found a tons of new audience with great reactions. We think it's something that should be done more. People clearly want to see that kind of content, and it really gives a new perspective for the audience while enjoying some new music. It's also pure promo for any new release, so for sure it's good for the industry overall. We think it's one of the best things happening in YouTube scene right now. It's growing all the time, and we've told to our label that reaction videos are becoming super important. For sure, there are many channels doing reactions, so it's hard to give attention to everyone, but we try our best. Diamond Rowe, the guitarist for Tetrarch, says, I truly feel that
I played a show with Tetrarch, I think like 3 years ago, in like a little dive bar, and these guys were awesome. They were super tight. Diamond is fantastic. The whole band is fantastic.
That reaction videos can be a positive thing for artists. I'm a firm believer that anything circulating awareness about a band or artist can be a good thing. Coming from someone in a band on the rise, reaction videos lead new eyes and ears to music that they may have never heard of, and hearing the opinion of someone that they admire can have heavy influence, especially if it's a good and positive reaction. I'll be honest, when reaction videos first started to appear, I was not convinced.
Interesting.
It wasn't until I started watching the ones on my own band that I understood their benefit and relevance. Just as the artist, it is really cool to hear directly from someone their thoughts on your music, the things that they like or don't like, etc. You really get to hear it from a direct perspective that wouldn't be so easily available without them. There's also nothing like watching someone get hyped to something you've created. It's really rewarding. Nicholas Carlson, vocalist, guitarist, and founding member of Sweden's very own Orbit Culture, says,
oh boy,
without the help from YouTube.
Now, Orbit Culture is a band that I could never get into every time we reacted to them. So, you know, I hope that they don't hate me. It is what it is.
YouTube reactors, I can promise you that we would be a much smaller band right now. Surely, internet in general has helped us tremendously, especially during a pandemic where we were not able to do any shows.
I just, for some reason, I couldn't get into them.
Engage in reaction videos and sharing the joy compared to reading an article about a release or similar, and then just go on with it. I hope that labels get that. There will always be reactors who are only in it for the clicks, and same goes for artists. We just have to find the right reactors and bands to create the best community possible. Because that is what it is in the end, a community between the fans, the band, and the reactor who hopefully and pretty often becomes a fan. personally-
See, pretty often becomes a fan. I probably was the only one who wasn't, man. I probably was the only one. I know that a lot of people, really like this band. And I listen, I like the style that they like. I think, well, I like that they are going with the style that they're going with. I think that they do it very well. It's just like that Metallica infused style. I just can't really get into. I tried. I just can't. I think I read to quite a few of those songs.
I love most reactions. I find it very interesting and joyful to see people's reaction to something that you've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
Even the ones who hate your music is pretty hilarious too.
Dude.
At least they reacted to it and said something longer about what they liked or didn't like, compared to some who just put something on and record and then just go, okay, that was cool. See you next time. And finally, Eskimo Callboy vocalist Kevin Ratajczak says, reaction.
These guys here, so this is what's really cool about Eskimo Callboy is that they're a big band and they've popped off, but they're still like, they post videos of them reacting to reactions and whatnot. And yeah, Tank says, I do. We're all different. Music is subjective. No worries. I don't like a lot of bands that a lot of reactors go nuts over to. Yeah, no, I definitely, I'm definitely in that boat. You know, I'm an Amura guy. Everybody hates them, but it's all good.
Videos themselves have gotten so big and everybody watches them.
When will they change their name? They announced that they were going to.
Videos so much because it's the speed that people want to consume information. And with reaction videos, you can consume 2 videos at once.
Yeah.
From your favorite person on YouTube, the reactor, watching some video that you may know or not know. And this adds up to a completely new social network that was built by reactors because it brings together so many different genres and communities. This helped us a lot with Hypa Hypa.
Yeah.
And now labels and bands intentionally choose reactors to be their marketing instrument. For example, it's like a festival. At a festival, there are more than just your fans in the crowd. There are a lot of people that don't know about your band, but get to know your band.
Yeah.
So if there's a crowd that is into reactions, they get aware of your band, and we totally love reaction videos for that. There is one big reason I like reaction videos. I'm thankful for being able to connect to new people. It allows us to connect to people not only on the business side. After we did our videos with you, we talked for many minutes, and this is why it works so much better than with other things. If you like each other, it's more than just business.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, at least from the small pool of bands that I talk to, unanimously in favor of reaction channels. They seem to see a big benefit in it for their band, for the marketing and exposure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you could make the argument that they mostly said positive stuff because I've interacted with a lot of them and they knew that.
Well, I look at Tang, man. Look, you say one crossword to Tang. Look at these guns right here. You could even call these tanks right here if they were like, they said something ill about it. Tank will blue skidoo through the screen and take them out. You know what I'm saying? So like, I understand that totally.
This was going to be in a video, but this is what they chose to put on here. So this is what we have to go off of.
All right, now here we go. The publishers are going to be interesting because well, here's the thing with the publishers, right? They're in a nowhere. They're just like, hey, listen, we're not really involved here. We just got to be the bad guys. We just got to be the bad guys. Listen, it is what it is.
Now, moving on to the final part of this video, the publishers. And I'm not going to lie, this is going to be pretty short. And I expected it to be, man. I didn't really expect to get a lot of responses from this because the publishers don't really have direct involvement with what the bands are doing on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
The publishers distribute the music and maintain and uphold copyrights. And
they're just the bad guys, man. It is what it is. They don't have anything. They're just like, hey, we're just here to do a job. Don't yell at us anymore, YouTube reactor people. Stop yelling at us.
Make sure that the bands are getting royalties where their material is being used. So I didn't expect to hear back from any publishers, and I really didn't. I reached out to 5 of them. 4 of them I didn't hear back from. And one of them said, we would not like to be involved because we feel our opinion doesn't matter on this subject. So there you have it.
It's so funny how like the one entity that technically, well, they're not the only entity, right? But they're like the first line of defense when it comes to being able to get your video monetized, but their opinion doesn't matter at all because they're like not really involved, but they're involved. It's a very interesting dynamic that when you really think about it.
But to wrap up this video, man, I hope you guys enjoyed getting a little peek at what bands and labels and publishers, well, not really the publishers, but you know what I'm saying. I hope you enjoyed seeing what they think about some of these reaction videos and channels. But regardless, this discussion will continue. There's going to be people that love reaction videos. There's going to be people that hate it and think it's trash and stealing content and stuff like that. But this reminds
that's what I'm doing right now.
me of how Let's
Love you,
Play
Tank.
videos
Love you,
started
Tank.
way back in the day. There was people that said, that's mindless garbage. It's just a person playing a video game and commenting on it. But look at it now.
True.
Let's Play videos are huge. There are people making
Huge.
careers off of Let's Play videos and streaming on Twitch. And I think you're going to see reaction channels become a permanent mainstay on YouTube very soon. And in my opinion, you're already starting to see it, man. Some of these channels come and go, but there are channels that have already developed a huge presence on YouTube that I don't see going anywhere anytime soon. And as long as they're there, you know bands and labels are going to continue working with them for marketing for their material. But
Yeah.
since this video was more about their opinions and not mine, I'm going to end here. Thank you guys very much. If you want to hear more or discuss more with me, you can drop a comment or join us on social media, man. I've got a Discord server that a lot of us hang out on often. I stream pretty regularly on Twitch. And if you're interested in any of that stuff, I'll throw links in the description below.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that under the handle @TankTheTech. But thank you guys so very much for watching.
Yep.
And I'll see y'all very soon for another reaction video.
Look at that, dude. Okay, we need a part 2 from Tank. Look at that. We need another video from Tank. I'm gonna link the video right here. Look at that. Give him a like. I'm already subscribed to Tank because I have a little bit of intelligence. Tank is the man. I remember actually seeing Tank's videos first pop up back when he first started. And yeah, the guy obviously is in the chat right now. So listen, I'm not just being nice because he's in the chat, okay? Listen, this guy makes fantastic content, and I'm very happy to see all of his success. I love to see all of his 120K subscribers. That's crazy, man. Very, very, very happy for you, man. And good job doing this video. I thought this was so great. Oh, Tank, you did not need to give 5 subs. I probably will make, in probably about 2 subs worth of ad revenue, okay? But that's very kind of you. I very much appreciate. You did not have to do that. That's very kind of you. Look at that. Yeah, look at this chat. Look at that. Look at that. Hey man, I like to support people I like. Well, dude, that's very kind of you. I thought this was a great video because at the end of the day, whether some people, and again, I think I like Finn. I think Finn it does good content. But hey, it's one of those things where it's like, who cares what his opinion matters? If the labels like it and the bands like it, that's what really matters. And I think that eventually we'll get to a point where there's a more of a in terms of like a monetization thing or whatnot. Or to me, the biggest thing that really irritates me with videos is when you do the time to record it and everything, and then they get blocked. Like, the blocks are what kill me, man. The blocks are just, like, so demoralizing. And I can only imagine for people that, put a lot of time into their edits, I can see that it would be like, oh, God. Hey, I got to go to record a video, but I'm starting a new series where I'm going to be doing a podcast type thing and have reactors. Would love to have you. Dude, I'd be honored to be on with that, man. You name the time, and I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I would really appreciate that. That'd be so awesome. But no, great video from Tank. Look at that, dude. That's crazy. Tank, you got no dislikes on the video. That's so crazy.